Alright, so here's going to be a game against these group of pretty high prestige survivors. I was initially just going to record the book phase, but as soon as I saw that they were high prestige, I figured the whole game is going to be probably pretty good, and there's going to be a lot of good things to learn from either side, so I'll just record the whole game. And yeah, the book phase is going to be like a new little strategy I've been trying to refine on how to do that, so look out for that towards the end. Real quick though, I wanted to go over like some changes I made with the build. So this is no longer level 3, I put him into these two boss skills, which honestly, against like 95% of people you play, you'll get decent value out of. But against very experienced survivors, you're probably not going to be using your attacks too often because you're just going to die. But I still think it's better on these two than on here. Same for this, I think having the cooldowns for your portals is just mandatory. It just allows you to have, you know, pressure on book and even on objectives, so definitely gotta max these two out. And like skills like this, which I know a lot of people think is really good because you get a nice discount for your power possession, but whether it's level 0 or level 3, the way I look at it is you're still gonna get 2 uses on the book, and honestly most of the time you're not using this off cooldown. So I think just the other skills I just mentioned, it's just better to have them on those. And like this skill, for example, against, again, really experienced survivors, you're not going to get full value out of it because you're not going to be in a possession for more than 6 seconds. But against like 95% of people, you will. So I think it's still worth maxing this out. And this, even though, again, you're not going to be in them for too long, sometimes after you're stunned, you'll still have time to dodge and follow up with at least another attack. So I think that bonus health you get from here is worth it. So these are the changes I basically made, and I think this is good so far. If you don't have that extra prestige point, you can probably just take it out of the bleed. I think the 10% is nice. But yeah, so this is going to be that game. They get some pretty good weapons pretty early on, so I think it's also a good example of, you know, don't get discouraged just because you see somebody has a legendary in like the first 2 minutes or whatever. You can still win if they don't know how to handle the book phase, or if they just make too many mistakes during the book phase. So here's that game. Alright, so here's the game. I was initially not going to record it. I was only going to record the book phase, but I figured, you know, this is probably going to be a good game. It's definitely going to go all the way to book, so I might as well record the whole game. So that's why I recorded it a little later than just from the start. But, you know, only missed a few seconds, nothing really major happening, just grab some energy, trapping the place up since I did spawn right near an objective. And gonna trap a little bit in the little area right next to it, since they'll probably come around here after they finish the objective. Now I know they have an Ed, and, you know, it's, I guess, frowned upon to spend time trapping things when Ed obviously could just disarm the traps, but you're still getting experience obviously for doing it, and Ed will still get hit by traps. It's not like his ability lasts forever, so there's still a chance that he and other people will still get hit by it, and primarily it's for leveling up. So I trap up that objective, and then I go to Lucky Valley because that's usually the next like closest spot that people will loot. I've also been going just immediate 3 traps, or I should say 3 points in a trap, because I know that, like, you know, you can you give them shemps because there's like a greater chance of elite dropping shemps.
The living have claimed a piece of the map.
But I think the fear that you get from it and then the experience you get from possessing is worth it. So I will go 3 traps first, and then I'll do the basic and possession, and then I go from there. So as you'll see, they have pretty good weapons pretty early on. So your hopes of killing teams that have good weapons and are, you know, playing together or playing coordinated are basically 0. Like, you're just not going to kill teams like this. So they're already getting in cars a little later than maybe some people do, but it's because they probably spawn close to the pages and they wanted to loot the immediate area, so this isn't like super late for them or anything. They're doing what they should be doing. They're looting, they're getting cars early, and as you'll see in a little bit here, they're all going to be split up. Okay, pretty quick second piece.
their fear to turn them against each other.
Now, even though I know where they are, again, like, I could go and harass them, but sometimes it's better to just keep leveling than just going there, because you might just waste, you know, time and energy trying to kill things, and they'll kill you in 2 shots, and then you'll be a much lower level than if you were to be, than you would be if you were trapping, like, crates and stuff. So that guy's out, he grabbed the car. Scotty's here, and I know Scotty doesn't have a lot of dodges, so I can definitely hit him a few times. Set a trap that I'm expecting him to hit. He does hit it, but I can't possess that because it is an elite. Well, I can, but I'd rather possess a basic, because I can actually hit with a basic. Do I hit this? Looks like I do. I guess he was waiting to pick something up. Or maybe just, not sure what he was doing there. Let's see, so I hit that. As you can see, he's already got a good weapon. Good dodge by him there, and I think I die here or maybe get one more hit. Grab him just for the experience. Legendary sledgehammer right out the gate. I didn't even notice they finished the pages is like under 5 minutes there. It might have been like under 4 or whatever, but very fast pages. You'll also notice, like, right before I depossess, I'll do like an attack just so that they're like stuck in that animation so they can't immediately dodge. So right now, obviously they're split up, but I have to respect the fact that some of them could be going to the objective, so that's why I immediately just leave him, even though I could have just, you know, obviously kept pressuring him, but then somebody starts the objective and then you're way behind. So you have to respect the fact that they finish pages and know where they are, so that you can, you know, address whoever's on an objective as soon as they get on it. So they're clearly not here, but while I'm here, you make use of your time, trap stuff up. You're gonna come here later anyways, so this is gonna save you time later on. Now I could obviously easily flip this car, just drive it straight and then flip it on the wall on the left, but I'm not a believer in car flipping. I think it's usually a waste of time. Plus, you actually can, as many people also know, do damage with cars, and usually that's not a good idea. But if they're not on top of walling in cars, and you have no portals, as in they're all on cooldown, that's the time I think it's good to use cars for damage, and you'll see me do that a little bit on these 2 objectives. The downside is, obviously, like, I know some people will just keep possessing cars and keep trying to do damage until they break the cars. 2 problems with that is, obviously, 1, you're not getting a lot of damage done, and you're wasting time, so I guess maybe 3. And also you have to, well, it goes with wasting time, you have to wait until you have a lot of energy to grab cars, because if you just grab them with low energy, they'll just die so much quicker. So it's not really worth unless you do it with high energy. Okay, so they did start like almost right as I got here, so that's perfect. Yeah, I have very little time to do stuff with that legendary sledge, and I'm not sure what Flash has there. Maybe I can see in a second. It looks like a sledge also. Oh, we'll see right now. A blue sledge. So, pretty good stun that they have. I'm just trying to hit whatever I can. Going after Ed at this point wouldn't have been possible, really. You can drop a portal while you're powering up your demon dash. He dropped his weapon, so he couldn't shoot me immediately. Ooh, I didn't have a dodge there, otherwise I could have probably connected with some more attacks. That was decent damage. I have a boss. I throw up a portal. I grab this guy apparently. They're very good about dodging. I didn't get any hits on that. Let's see what I do here. Immediate lightning, and you can also do your second ability right after lightning. Ooh, I got stunned before I could even go invisible after moving right there. Like, you see me starting to move just now, but then I get stunned. I also am purposely running no balance bar on boss because you don't have a lot of time to do anything anyways. So I usually just go for the abilities, and if you're lucky you'll get a couple of light attacks, but that's it. So that's about the extent you can get done with cars, and it drains all your energy. So it's usually not good to do cars unless you have no portals. Even with this, at least you can place portals behind your traps and then get some damage done. And there I depossessed because I saw my health was already going to be too low. That was arguably not good because I may have just hurt some of the units I just spawned, but it did still hit them, so that was still damage. Okay, connected with a couple hits there. Connected with several hits there, but that's about it. You can't really get much more done. Nothing else is there, so pretty, I mean, decent, I would say. I got several hits off, but you know, nothing they can't heal through. I didn't count how many shemps that was total, but I'm sure they have, you know, several additional shemps. So now that I already have the tunnel trapped up from earlier, I don't have to waste time going immediately back to the objective. And there's really not a good, I don't think, a good idea to go immediately back to them. Because if you go all the way back there and then one person just slips by you, then you gotta run all the way back to the objective and then you just lost a lot of time. So just trap up like the objective if you haven't already, or like an area nearby that they might be looting, so like right there. And then I decide to probably meet them at the entrance. Low energy though, so I can't really do anything. Oh, I did notice them stopping here, and I wish I had my dash, because then I could actually do something, but because I don't have max energy, I can't summon a portal and possess it. Oh, this is funny. Look at this aim. Nice. Just a little late there. I should have aimed that better. I also could have grabbed that tree and scared Ed, which is what I tried doing here. But they drive the other way, so that was a waste of time. Really good to use trees like that, by the way. When I play Survivors, I don't think I've ever seen a demon do that against us. But if everybody's in a car, or even if one person's in a car, just possess a tree and as they drive by, just scare them with it. It's free damage, free fear. And if you have all 4 drivers in there, that's, you know, great. So here we go, this objective.
The Kandarian dagger. They're still living.
Hoping to get them. Hit one person with it, so not bad. I probably get one more lightning off here, or maybe not even. Yep, I do, but it looks like they dodged that, but the person on the left did it, maybe. Immediately come out with a dodge, try to hit a running heavy, but miss. Hit that one, though. And then you hit one more, and then that's about it. And then it's basically a repeat. No idea how he didn't trigger that trap. Apparently they're still not triggering the trap. I don't know what's going on there. I imagine the car has something to do with it. So here's the problem. I got stunned before using my lightning. That sucks. What I should have done was obviously open with lightning. Or, since I didn't open with lightning, after I did my 3-piece, I should have moved away. Even though last objective it showed like even like at the beginning of your moving away you can get stunned. But I should have moved before using the lightning. The little startup time of the lightning there is when I got stunned, so that kind of sucked. Also here, I accidentally canceled my dash instead of letting it go through, so that was a little unfortunate there. So I was like, alright, let me just possess and I'll use dash again in a second. Okay, not really much I can get done, but since it's a power possession, I hold it. See if I can get one more swing. It does do a little decent damage. And by decent damage, I mean I just connected, right? You're not really doing significant damage. not enough to get your lightning out. I should have attacked immediately, or I mean I should have used lightning immediately and then I would have came out. But if you just use lightning immediately, it's a much easier to dodge. They don't have to worry about anything. So I generally like to use an attack when I summon elites to burn a dodge and then use the lightning. And here I have no cooldown, so I figure let me just grab this. I can do damage at least with this instead of the portal. Notice the flicking. Gotta love the flicking, especially the especially survivors flicking. I mean, I was gonna say especially survivors flicking, but obviously demon can't flick. But I meant to say especially in this like patch where you're supposed to win a survivor. Like the only reason you lose as survivors is because you guys misplayed. But if you don't misplay, you just win. And you'll see. So far, I mean, obviously there are little misplays here and there on both our sides, but the game is always going to come down to book, right? Because you're not going to lose the game before book. It's just so, you have to make so many mistakes if you lose before book. No offense to people that lose before book, but it usually comes down to not looting enough because you guys stay together and loot slowly. I want to say slowly, but it's usually because people just don't loot enough, like enough areas. They kind of just move from one spot to another together. But you know, games like this that show you that they just split up and all just loot wherever they want, they're not going to run out of resources. So games are going to go to book, and it's just about, do the survivors know how to deal with the book and can they execute? So here I tried possessing, hoping that he would trigger those traps, but he doesn't, and I'm not going to bother flipping that, so I just drive it back, and as soon as I see that he's not going to commit to getting the car back, I was like, alright, I'll just leave it and go chase him. So here, I'm still not really at an ideal level. I want my elite... I want everything maxed except for really infernal energy at this point, and obviously the demon vision, that doesn't matter. However, the thing about having your elite maxed is the last skill point only gives health and damage. And usually health and damage don't matter. What matters is balance bar, and once you get balance barred, you're probably going to die anyways. And if you don't die and you stay in possession thinking you can get another lightning off, all they do is focus you even harder to make sure you die. And then you lost a lot of time, you know, waiting out the stun duration, and then you're probably even further behind. So I dropped my traps pretty early, or my proximity traps, portals, whatever we want to call them. And then it's just a matter of harass them until it's close to the book phase. And for the book phase, I want to make sure I have all my portals off cooldown ready to go. So at this point, I'm just going to try to not use portals. I'm looking for things to possess here. I do have my 2 proximity still available, and they're not triggering them, so that's very good. As soon as the 2 minutes hit, I summon boss specifically away from the book so that they're not immediately killing the AI on the book. And as soon as I see the 159, I hit lightning. Notice that basic getting big value. I used that third as a heavy because I noticed their health was low. And then that's it, you move on. Notice this is a bug that I think people know about. This is a power possessed elite. They make a huge mistake here because I hit the book with the splash from hitting them. And that's it. But you'll notice I still have my power possession. But on book, that bug doesn't really matter. Because, again, power possession doesn't help with your balance bar. It only helps with your health and damage. And health and damage doesn't really matter on book. That was not good, but I did hit 1 hit, so that's not terrible. There, I meant to grab that elite, but I grabbed the basic and immediately used my first ability, which I thought was going to be lightning. But since I grabbed the basic, it wasn't. It just blew up, so that was pretty bad. But they're letting me get a lot more hits than I should. Notice how I also dodge immediately when I notice that they're body blocking me. And then they are really not taking this phase seriously, or I shouldn't say they're not taking it seriously, but they're not focusing the things they need to be focusing. Again, here, Scotty's right next to the book, so I get free damage, when he should be on the other side, right? Just making sure that the lightning doesn't get the hit on the book. So there, that's how they should be dealing with all the basics, immediately stunning it. I boss here because I had no portals available, I start with a light attack so that they get closer. And again here, we got 2 or 3 people right next to the book. Big damage. So even with all those stuns, even though they're such high prestige levels, they didn't know how to play book, and that's how you could still win. And I nice flicking, nice flicking. That was the only thing I said all game because I was really focused. And I was like, you know, I gotta unmute my mic for this. But I want to look at the book phase just one more time and just talk through it, because I think this is kind of the formula that you have to use for all demons. As soon as book starts, I mean, I guess it depends on the boss, but I think opening with boss is always the right answer, because you also have your proximity portals doing damage. They didn't address proximity portals, that was their first mistake. And then it's just really a matter of them not focusing the right stuff. So like here, I saw at least 182 there, so one person got near it, which is not great. But the fact that I'm getting several hits is also not great. Okay, they dealt with that one pretty okay. I did get a full heavy attack off, which shouldn't be possible. Here also, it seems I shouldn't be getting a lot of these hits off. See how Scotty was actually kind of late there and he got hit by my attack? You're guaranteed to get a free heavy attack on a unit that's possessed. It all depends. Like right here, I got 2 free attacks. That's just the what's the word? A consequence or whatever of them not focusing the right thing. Once you possess something, warriors see like they're picking things up. Like now is not the time to pick things up. That should all of this stuff should be sorted during the dark phase. The only person here that needs ammo is really Ed. I guess you can argue David also, but the fact that Scotty and Ash, or Warrior Ash, have great blunt weapons is really enough to stun me if they're just hitting their attacks. I mean, he wastes like 3-4 bullets right here, which isn't good, obviously. That was dealt with okay, but could have been better. And then again, like 2-3 people are near the book for that lightning. I think if none of them were near the book for that lightning, I actually don't win there yet, but I still had 15 seconds. So I still had another possession. Nice flicking. I still had another possession or 2. So that's the game. I was really proud of that one because, you know, Scotty had a legendary sledge right out the gate, and they're obviously very prestiged compared to me. But yep, that's how I play now. So that's how I play the book phase, I should say. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and